These guys got very lucky when one of them narrowly avoided getting swiped at by a very angry bear.
Oh! Look at it! Look at his claws! Oh! That is terrifying. Oh my god, you can see like how powerful a creature is as it's running. It's like all muscle. That's just all muscle. It probably weighs like 600 pounds, that thing. And then its claws are massive. One swipe, that's you done. Game over. Like, your face is not the same as it was when you went out on that snowmobile. That face is probably off your face, you know? Face off. Like the movie Face Off.
The long-awaited PlayStation 5 awaits you at home,
PS5.
but instead, you get stuck in an elevator all weekend.
What?
The man you're looking at is Nicholas White, and he was trapped in an elevator for 41 hours. He had no food or water, and he had to use the elevator shaft as a restroom. He didn't even have a mobile phone, so I can't imagine how he survived at all. Write in the comments what you would do if you were him.
Okay, so he was trapped in the elevator for 41 hours. His phone didn't work, the emergency button didn't work. Like, there's an emergency button in there that should directly call, like, emergency services. And then he used the elevator shaft as a bathroom. Can't you use the elevator shaft as an exit? Isn't that what the whole thing is? Like, you see in movies where it's like stuck in the elevator, pop the lid up, crawling out, drop down to another floor or something. Is that not that easy? I feel like I would do it. I don't know. I feel like you could just get out. I feel like he didn't try hard enough. Maybe put him in there and see if he can do it again.
A 28-year-old German man,
Lars
Mittank, was on vacation in Bulgaria when he disappeared. He was last seen on the security camera footage of an airport running away from the medical office and into thin air. He vanishes into thin air as he is seen as if running for his life as far away as he could get. His mother reported that just before disappearing, Mittank had been behaving erratically and showing terrible signs of paranoia. To this day, it's still a mystery why he left like that, leaving his belongings at the medical office.
Okay, I know a lot about this story. Maybe more than I should know. I don't know why. I think I watched like a mini doc on it on YouTube, and then I watched my favorite mystery YouTuber, Bella Fiore, do a whole like 1 hour thing about it. Essentially, yeah, he was on vacation. One of the nights he got into like a fight with a group of guys. One of them punched him and it like really f***ed him up. I think he like had some kind of damage and they think it could have caused like ruptured his ear. And then he was supposed to stay. His friends all left and then he stayed by himself in this country. And then I think he chose to fly home. But many people think he just had like problems after being in a fight, and that was what resulted in him being so erratic and then running away, and now he's never been found. No one knows what's happened to him. He could be alive, just living out there somewhere, or he could be dead. That's scary. Don't get into fights.
A group of fearless girls stood very still while encountering a wild bear so that it would not attack
Oh
them.
my god. Ooh. Oh my god, I would myself. I would. She's probably herself as well. She's probably peeing as we speak. That would be the scariest experience. Imagine just standing still and a bear's like, what up? Like, what's it doing? Sniffing her, giving her a good sniff, see if it wants to eat her. Ooh. But like they said, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, get down. She ain't fighting back. I would have just punched it square in the jaw. Just kidding. I would have cried. I would have been on the floor. I would have done everything they tell you not to do, like run away. And then it just would have chased me and then I would have died. So I don't like to go anywhere where there's other wildlife. It's just not my place, you know? I know her.
On February 19th, 2013, the body of Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old college student, was found floating in a rooftop water tank at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, California. Medical examiners had started to believe that she had inadvertently drowned in the tank until the security footage outside showed otherwise. It had captured everything that went down that evening. The footage shows Lam conversing with someone who isn't there, and she appears to be frightened and disoriented. The footage elicited more questions than answers, since the questions inflict many theories.
Can I just say, 2013 was just like a bad year. Elisa Lam, Corey Monteith. That's what I remember 2013. I don't even remember my own life in 2013. I just remember Corey Monteith dying. And then Elisa Lam. Not that I should smile about it. Poor Elisa Lam. This video is baffling. I mean, I watched the whole documentary on Netflix about the Cecil Hotel and her death. And it kind of starts to make more sense. But they do blame a lot of it on mental health issues such as bipolar disorder, which I don't think makes a lot of sense to me. I don't understand why she's acting so erratic. I thought drugs were involved, but apparently no. I think something else went on. A lot of people think paranormal, but I don't know. It makes no sense. It kind of just makes me angry, this whole case. It doesn't make sense. I wish I knew.
This woman was just hanging out by her pool in California, but suddenly a 7-point earthquake started. Her actions saved the phone. Fortunately, her husband heard the screams and came to her rescue from home.
Get the phone.
He took the phone and as soon as it was safe, saved his wife from the terrible tsunami
Respect.
waves. Listen how proud he is of himself.
Tsunami waves were coming out of the pool, were hit.
Respect. At the end of the day, gotta save the phone. She was like, save the phone. He was like, don't worry, I got the phone. The phone is safe, now I'll save you. The wife's an afterthought. The phone is what we're worried about here. But all phones are pretty much like water resistant these days. Maybe this is an old clip. I mean, they've got a pool. Why are you caring about the phone? You know? Like, pool often comes with money. In my mind, that's how life works. I wish I had a pool. But I live in an apartment, so it's physically quite impossible.
Rise of a New Year's Eve when a nude man crept into their breezeway wearing a rubber mask of the 40th U.S. President, Ronald Reagan. Yancey's husband was taking the trash out when he caught a glimpse of a shadow in their breezeway. He yelled at him and tried to catch him, making the trespasser creep away. He called 911 and informed them of a nude trespasser. The police tried to look for him, but were not able to find him anywhere around the neighborhood. Some theories were saying that the guy didn't mean any harm, and that it could have been a lost bet, a dare, or just a teenage New Year's Eve party gone out of control.
This is so peculiar. I've got so many questions. I assume it's like some kind of dare, and someone's done it. It's probably like, you know, a university kid, his frat initiation, go nude to someone's home. This seems right. My question is, where the hell do you get a Ronald Reagan mask? And out of all the former presidents, why do you think, the one I want on my face is Reagan? I'd want Abe Lincoln on me, you know?
In June 2019, Vivian Gomez posted a video on Facebook that went viral, not because it was a video of her looking good, but because nobody knew what was caught wandering around her neighborhood. The clip showed an alien-looking creature that strongly resembles Dobby the house elf, a character from the Harry Potter films. The figure has wobbly legs and floppy ears, joyously doing a chicken dance around the neighborhood.
What I love about it is because we all know it's fake now, because it came out that it was like her son had pulled like his pajama pants over his head. But what's still so great about it is the way he moves. Like, I don't think I could even move that way if I tried. Like, it's still strange the way he moves his limbs. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. He's just like, he should be a dancer, to be honest. Like, just the way he goes, like, I can't do that.
It's what the camera captures next that is truly strange. Several white figures begin running along the outside of the fence. Then suddenly, a few of the figures leap over the fence and land motionless on the ground.
They look so big and then so small.
Some viewers have suggested that the strange shapes are actually deer.
Yeah.
However, the way they land after jumping the fence seems to rule this theory out. They appear still and lifeless, almost as if they've deflated.
Almost as if they've deflated. Seems that way. It looks like animals that are running, but the way they jump, that just does not seem real. It seems fake. Like, nothing jumps that way. Like a full sprint and then jump over a fence and then just sit there like you're deceased now. That was very strange. Ghost deer, maybe. Maybe they're ghosts. Could happen.
Getting into the elevator, the cane mysteriously disappears.
What cane?
Just as suddenly as it appeared, blinking out of existence without a trace.
What cane?
Gone.
This is certainly a very strange video and one that can't easily be explained.
Ooh!
What could be responsible for the cane's bizarre movements? Could it be the result of something supernatural? Or is there something else going on?
Oh, for sure supernatural. Canes just don't fly around on their own. This is clearly a hospital. I saw Scrubs, and I know they're called Scrubs because Grey's Anatomy taught me so much. This is the ghost of a deceased man who had a cane, and now he's looking for his cane in the afterlife. Because in the afterlife, you're not just healed, you are the way you were when you died. That's probably not true.
Was out at the local river. She was filming another silly clip when somebody else snuck onto this video.
Huh? What the f is that? Oh my god, what is this? Oh my god. Well, okay.
A young woman in a black dress which seems to be pointing at something.
Yeah, I'd be pointing too if I saw this woman who's filmed this video because she's freaking me the hell out. Like, what is going on? I don't care about the woman that shows up behind her. Who is this woman filming with those very long eyelash extensions that don't seem quite right to me? She's got a doll, a baby doll that she's drowned in the river, and she's holding a toad? She's some kind of witch. I would be watching too, from very far away. That jaunt hesitated to close. That jaunt?
Oh my god!
Ooh, see you later. Oh, that's what's creepy. Okay. This is creepy because you could easily blame that on the wind, but I hate how the door went like this, and then paused, and then closed. It was like resistance, and someone was pulling it, and it was like, dude, that's freaking. The dog knew something was going on. The dog was like following that door. Ghost in that house. Ghost. That was, I don't like that. Let's just assume someone had a string and was like pulling it. But my door does that at home sometimes, but again, it just slams. Oh, holy. Someone just...
And indeed, a black mass is appearing right behind her.
Oh, where? I don't see a black mass, but to me it looks like someone just like kneed him in the middle of the back and was like... It was probably Chris trying to fight people. It was Chris's knee coming up high right into this guy's back, and he was blindsided. That's creepy. I'd get the hell out so fast. Get your camera, go. Although, by the looks of this camera screen, it looks kind of fake, you know? Just a little bit. The record, that's not real.
And so much towards the moon and records it as he sees something quite strange moving near it.
Wait, what am I looking at?
As
The
you can
moon?
see, there are three dark circular things moving as suggested that the flying saucers are circular disc-like.
Is this the moon? I've already forgotten what she said at the beginning. It's the moon? Now, like, people get me so angry if this is not even the moon. It's like, it's the sky. I think it's the moon, is what she said. Let's just go with the moon. My problem with the moon is that I can't tell how big this is, you know? The proportions are all off. Like, I can't tell, like, ratio of the moon to these little black specks. Like, are the black specks just like space debris floating around the moon? The moon has its own orbit, does it not? No, the moon's in an orbit. Does the moon have moons? No. The moon, do things float around the moon? No, we float around the sun. Hold on, let me think about science. Oh my god, this is basic science. Chris, do you know? The moon has debris around it, let's go with that.
manera con ruido, así como.
Oh. Oh, I don't like that. That's kind of creepy. I can't tell who it looks like from here, but it looks like a child from The Grudge, and it's just holding on to the bus. You can tell how long it's been since I rode on a bus. A pole, like just holding on, waiting for his stop. He's like, "Hurry on! Why have we stopped? Where's my stop?" That's what he's saying. Hate the sound of a ringing phone. Gives me anxiety. Woo! That door flew open. Those guys were shook. Is this a police station? This is a police station. Oh, there's a crime. That's an outdoor. Oh, man. There's someone behind the door.
At one night taken from the security footage, the door of entrance suddenly opens so aggressively that it breaks.
Fully breaks. Oh yeah, you can see a break at the bottom. Jesus. Maybe it's like, this is a police station. Maybe it's a crazy person on the other side. It's just like, well, we don't see the end. Who's to know? Like, I want to see them go around there and investigate this broken door. Or the wind? No, the wind's not inside pushing it open. I've got no explanation. It's freaking out the internet. It's freaking out me.
Was found by user Noodlepoots, and he felt the need to share it in the paranormal section. He got a strange motion alert by his Nest camera that sent him a really eerie preview image.
Oh my god, someone's face. Jesus Christ. Oh.
What is that? A face? His camera certainly believed to have seen an unidentified person that night. When Noodle checked the live feed on the camera, the strange thing that looked like a face was not there anymore.
I see it. Right there.
So,
I see the face. And they're like, oh, when you check the live stream, the face isn't there anymore. Dude, it's bang in the middle of the table. Trick of the light, but it's there. And you guys call me blind. I caught that, and he didn't. I should be a PI. Got 20/20 vision, don't you know? Got them retested yesterday. Yesterday? That's a blatant lie. Like 2 weeks ago. Don't like erratic filming. Oh, what?
Guys, you literally will not believe this.
What?
I literally just had that door thing happening. And not have that happening. There is nobody in there.
Why is the light going off?
And now I have my lights going on and off when I'm trying to sleep. This is absolutely ridiculous. This has been happening for the past 5 minutes.
Maybe check your electricity. Let's assume things are short-circuiting, like my brain watching this. I mean, my brain through this whole video, short-circuiting like that light. Got no sympathy, just turn off the light, go to bed.
What is seen is behind the flowers, a creepy dark face is starting directly towards the camera as if it is already new.
Huh?
Is this an act of paranormal or a creep? Either way, it's chilling to the bones.
Oh, I didn't even see the face at all, and I still am struggling to see the face, but now that she's said that there's a face behind the plant, I'm kind of making out an outline, a creepy creep in the shadows. Kind of, but I can't make out any facial features, so it isn't chilling me to the bone like it's chilling her to the bone. At first, I thought they were trying to comment on the fact that the flowers are moving and blowing in the wind, and they were like, whoa, is this paranormal? Or the wind? And it's like, paranormal.
Animals found in walls. The Bretzius family thought that they had found their dream home in a small town in Pennsylvania in the US. They purchased the home in 2011 and quickly began preparing to move in with their 4 children. The home inspector found nothing wrong with the home. Didn't look very hard, did you, Jerry? So they only planned a few upgrades to the space. Library here, whatever. One of the projects that they planned was adding insulation to the room that they planned to use as a nursery for their youngest child. When they opened up the walls, the eerie mysteries began. Immediately, they were hit with an awful stench. It didn't take long to discover why. The walls were full of animal carcasses. Ew! Based on the newspapers the rotting animals were wrapped in, they had been there since the 1930s and 40s! Ew! So gross. That's disgusting. Disgusting! Come on. I mean, I think I've heard of this story too, and it had something to do with the fact that it was like warded off evil if you put dead animals on the walls. I don't understand. I don't understand people's logic sometimes. The only thing that wards off is any visitors who want to come over for dinner. That's like, ugh. Maybe that's a good thing though if you don't want the in-laws to come over for Christmas. I get that. The Exorcism of Kennedy Ife. One of the eerie mysteries that left England's authorities baffled begins in Hadley Wood, Enfield, North London. Kennedy Ife was a typical 26-year-old living with his parents and 5 brothers. One day he began to complain of some symptoms, including stomach and throat pain and difficulty sleeping and breathing. At first his family just thought he was coming down with a minor illness. However, he started to act differently, becoming withdrawn and sullen, very different from his usual demeanor. This behavior eventually escalated to extreme, violent mood swings in which he lashed out at his family members, in one instance even attempting to violently beat his own father. After this violent incident, Kennedy's family confronted him about his bizarre behavior. He told them that there was a seed inside of him that was growing into a serpent. Sure it wasn't a watermelon? Kidding. The family overpowered him and tied him to a bed with cables and cuffs. Whew! I wonder if they had those already. They kept him there for 3 days while they prayed over him, hoping that their constant vigil would force the demon to leave him. Throughout the 3 days, Kennedy alternately barked and growled like an animal. Near the end of the 3 days, he began to complain of dehydration and being unable to breathe. Kennedy Ife died of cardiac arrest after being tied to the bed for 3 days without food, water, or rest. Oh my god. People are so stupid. Ooh. Like, even if your son is possessed with a demon, you still have to take care of the host. Right? Oh my good god. That's awful. That is such an unnecessary death. Unnecessary. Ugh. People can't live with them. Apparently you cannot live with them. We just kill each other over stupid things. On the outside, Danielle Harkins seemed like a perfectly respectable literacy teacher at a local community center. She was married with 2 children. Shortly before the events that put her at the center of a media frenzy, she and her husband went through a painful divorce. Ooh, honey. Still, she was a popular teacher with students who were devoted to her. In fact, the bizarre circumstances of her infamy suggest that her students may have been a little too devoted. They were so devoted to her that they would believe anything that she said. So much so that when she told them that they had demons inside of them that only she could get out, they believed her. On June 9th, 2012, she asked 7 students to meet her at dawn in her classroom to perform to remove the demons from their. Oh god, the divorce was really bad, eh? Jeez. Wow. I'm sorry, you just like projected all of your pain into all your students. I hope she's in jail. That's not okay. That's not okay. I don't like that. Especially as like a teen teacher, that makes me so angry. Ed Baker was a head of a wildly successful oil investment firm in the state of Texas. In the 1980s, he made millions and was a leader in the industry. However, Ed's gambling addiction and reckless spending caused his profits to dry up, and soon he was taking money out of his clients' accounts. Ooh, Ed, naughty boy. In 1985, Ed's investors came knocking, asking for their money back, and Ed was forced to take a loan from people with mob connections to help cover his losses. When he didn't pay them back, he started getting death threats. Facing the possibility of prison time or worse, Ed vanished on the night of November 6, 1985. 2 days later, his Jaguar was found burned to a crisp with the charred remains of a person in the front seat. The body could not be identified, though police believe that it belonged to Ed. However, some speculate that Ed faked his own death with a body double and is now living abroad. And he burned his own Jaguar alive? I don't know. Obviously, the people who suspect that aren't animal people. you know? Like, you just don't, animal people just don't mess with animals. Like, even if there's a villain in a movie and you hate the villain, like they're the worst villain ever, if they have an animal and they're super cute to them, you kind of know there's a little bit of a heart there, you know? You just kind of like them a little bit. Pet people, we would never. So I think he's probably dead. He's probably dead. Diane and Hugh Harland lived in the seaside town of Morro Bay, California. Their marriage was difficult. Diane's constant spending on her dogs put a strain on their marriage. See? Pet people, what did I tell ya? And Hugh struggled to support her on his meager fisherman's paycheck. In 1982, Diane's body was found with the dog. Hugh was a suspect, but he was never charged. On November 1st, 1986, Hugh vanished while on a trip to San Simeon. His truck was found abandoned with his keys lying nearby. While some think Hugh fled to avoid being implicated in his wife's murder, others believed he was kidnapped and killed by the same person who killed Diane. He was never seen again, and his wife's murder was never solved. The dog did it. Anyway, pet people, I swear to God. If he killed, like spending all that money on your dogs, I'm like, I get it. I love my dog so much. I just want her beside me all the time in every video. You guys have seen her. She's stupid and cute at the same time. Stupid and smart at the same time. But it's stressful buying clothes as a human. I would never put that stress on our dog, you know what I mean? The frightening case of the abduction of Angela Hammond, who was on the phone with her boyfriend when the abduction happened. Angela was at a payphone when she noticed a suspicious truck circling her before a mysterious man got out of the vehicle. Her boyfriend heard a scream and left his place immediately to head towards the payphone when he saw the truck rush past him in the opposite direction with a screaming girl inside. Unfortunately, Angela's boyfriend damaged his engine trying to reverse and follow, which allowed the truck with a unique decal in the rear window to escape, and Angela was never found. But if the truck had a unique decal, wouldn't you just try and find the truck? Oh man, I think that's a really terrifying fear. We talk about demons a lot, I kind of said this before, but that kind of stuff, humans are just worse. Humans are worse than demons. There. I said it. Fight me. David, son of Sam, classic. David, the son of Sam Berkowitz, was a serial killer who killed 6 women and injured 7 more in New York City during the late 70s. He is currently serving a life sentence for his crimes, but despite the seemingly open and shut nature of the case, some have questioned the findings. Inconsistencies in eyewitness testimony lead some to believe that Berkowitz was not the only killer, while others believe that he was involved in a satanic cult. Pretty sure he was. No, I mean, I've covered this guy before, but I believe that there was an interview where, he blamed the dog, right? He said the dog was possessed by like a 2,000-year-old demon. And then I think one of the police were like interviewing him, and I think that's the one I read. I don't know if I can find the article for you guys. Maybe, but the police guy like literally called him out. He's like, "Come on, dude. Like, it wasn't the dog." And then like David just kind of laughs and go, "Yeah, it wasn't." Pretty sure that's open and shut. He did it. Or if there were multiple, they were never caught, but he at least did a few of them. Spontaneous combustion is a very terrifying and interesting cause of death that continues to stump scientists and investigators. Don't laugh. This is not good. This whole thing's gonna be about a person dying. Relax. After charred remains were discovered, investigators were baffled by the mysterious deaths that left the bodies mostly charred and unrecognizable, save for a few untouched body parts, while the area around them experienced little fire damage, proving how terrifying and unknown they can be. On December 5th, 1966, the body of 92-year-old Dr. J. Irving Bentley was discovered in his Pennsylvania home by a meter reader. Actually, only part of Dr. Bentley's leg and foot were found. The rest of his body had been burned to ashes in his bathroom? What? Part of the good doctor's incinerated robe lay at the site, and his walker was left propped against the blackened tub. But the most eye-catching clue was a massive hole in his vinyl floor. The rest of the house remained intact. How could a man catch fire and then burn so completely without igniting everything around him? Beats me. Sounds like a case of spontaneous combustion. Magic. Michael Jones was just when he appeared in the Ghost Boy segment, which explored the multiple sightings he had experienced, as well as the paranormal activity witnessed by other family members in the Jones household. Michael had previously seen a ghost of his great-grandfather, though he began to see evil spirits and a dark shadow man that would leave physical wounds on his body. Paranormal investigators believe spirits were trying to possess Michael due to previous near-death experiences, which continued despite multiple exorcisms and relocations. You know what? Michael, such a badass, because you know what? He didn't let anyone in. He was like, get out, stay out. Good for you, Michael. Everyone else who gets possessed should be more like Michael. Except I understand it's a harder job than we make it out to be. Alan Mann and his family began seeing ghostly visions in their home that inspired them to try and contact spirits with a Ouija board. Always a mistake. No! Which spelled out the name Kramer, who they believed to be the woman seen in the house. Kramer! Who they believed to be the woman seen in the house. The paranormal activity increased in the house and was witnessed by all members, with Alan's wife even becoming possessed by a spirit one evening, with the father after hearing a name that led them to believe their spirit was a woman named Isabella Kramer. Ah, here we go, it's not her first name. Headaches, bad smells, and voices began to plague the family, and they moved away from the house. Good! Stay out! And never use a Ouija board. That should be the lesson after every video.
Julie, my door just opened. What? No, stop.
Ooh.
What the
See, I want to vibe with that PlayStation 4 menu sound.
Not even that late. Kevin's not home from work yet. What? Oh! My god. What the
How many doors do you have?
Oh!
How many doors do you have? Why do you have that many doors? Oh my goodness gracious. That dog was just like a deer in headlights. That was it. The dog was just... That's it. My god. I was literally just trying to vibe with that PlayStation 4 main menu. You know, just listen to the calming, soothing, and beautiful sounds. But no, this ghost, demon, poltergeist, freaking paranormal activity nonsense had to go with the door. With every door. Multiple doors. Slamming them, opening them, shutting them. And it just seemed like every door you looked at just became part of this ridiculous cacophony. And, you know, it is freaky. It's definitely freaky. In the moment, it would be scary as heck. But, I mean, watching it now, like, it's almost comical.
And the lights are off. They were on. Oh, and they're on now. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? I don't... Do y'all see that?
Oh.
Do y'all see that?
I was terrified. And then to find out that no one's there, then I was even more scared than anything.
Get a new job! Quit your job, go somewhere else! Yeah, that's absolutely terrifying. Whether or not that was a person, like it could be a person that got away before the police showed up, but like that's still scary that somebody came into your empty call center after hours and was just like vibing in the doorway, just like looking at you. That scream, that was a real scream. You don't scream like that unless like something really catches you off guard. So, good luck to this call center employee. I hope she's found, you know, gainful employment away from this absolute nightmare zone. Real or fake part 3. You see this, what you're doing? Who is that?
This time, even more boldly.
Jesus, dude.
Jesus, dude. Is that?
Before again, disappearing. And there was more.
That's sick. That cat was absolutely holding down the fort. Yeah, that was freaky. I thought it, like from the shape of the door, I thought it was like a closet for a second, but no, it's just how the house is built. That is a freaky grudge-like apparition. It caused the door to slam too. I don't know what I would do, to be honest, if I saw something like that. The footage you're about to see is terrifying. Watch carefully. I hate this already. Is this proof ghosts are real? Oh, the teddy moves too, eh? Just looking right at the camera. Watch the teddy bear. I did watch the teddy bear. What do you mean watch the teddy bear? Nah, I hate this now. This is a fake. I'm telling you right now. Just from the way it's shot. From the weird, high, wide angle and the terrible captions. This feels to me like one of those videos where somebody makes an awful meal. But the whole time, the person behind the camera is saying, wow, this looks great. Oh, wow, really cool. You're putting ketchup in that ice cream? That's the vibes I'm getting here. This one, like more than anything else we've watched today, is 100% fake. Couple in Malaysia found a 6'5" creature slithering out of their toy. It's a poop monster.
This thing is thick, big around. I mean, as thick as a boa constrictor. Yet it's got this tiny little head. And it doesn't move like a snake. If anything, it's more like a giant sea slug or something. I mean, whatever it is, I wouldn't want to be sitting on that toilet when it decides to make its appearance.
I like that. I like that we're reacting to this guy reacting. I like that I said poop monster and the first thing you hear is, it's thick! I don't know if it was crawling out of the toilet. I think it went down and then kind of maybe made a U-turn. I'd be asking the people in the house like what they've been eating lately, if they've been recently cursed by something, you know? Watch the empty Snapple bottle. Put it in the recycling, why don't you? Babe. Yeah, put that in the recycling, you don't get problems like that, right? Don't just leave your empty Snapple bottles on the kitchen counter, you know? What if somebody wants to come in and like cook something nice and then they gotta clean up the kitchen before they even get to start cutting, you know? They're like, oh, I'd like to dice an onion right now, but there's no counter space because of all these haunted Snapple bottles.
It's Clipper time.
It's Clipper time.
Do we keep the beard? Or do we go for do we have a shave like on here? Do we go for full Bronson tash?
What we're seeing is an accidental capture, which is my favorite. You know that it's not manipulated. You know that it's not movie magic. Nobody's trying to make it happen. It just happens.
The fact that it's a doll? No, thank you.
I mean, you could say that. You can say that there's no movie magic, no nothing. But I mean, I think you're underestimating people's ability to think a couple steps ahead. You know? Like, this guy is going to shave his head, yes. And then the doll moves. Did he set that up? We can't prove anything, but I feel like saying like, oh, it's impossible to be skeptical of this because it's an accidental capture. I don't know. Plus, that doll's on a weird pedestal, eh? Like, I feel like that's not a pedestal that is like conducive to keeping something totally not moving.
Celebrity Ghost Caught on Camera, Part 2. This time we have Michael Jackson. Shortly after Michael Jackson's death, they videotaped inside his house and captured this. What do you think?
I mean, this is part of the reason why I don't see stuff like this on TikTok all the time. It's just it's so funny the way that they like deliver it. Like the fact that she like the beginning of the video is just her face, and then she shows a picture of Michael Jackson and just peeks in. Just hold on, let me get off camera for a second here. She's like, hi. I don't know, man. Like, obviously the footage is great. Like, that's an interesting clip, and I think we've even talked about it on this channel before. But the fact that that's how they frame it just makes me not want to take it seriously at all. I guess that's what I do, right? Like, I'm sitting here like looking at these clips, but at least like I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little more upfront with the audience. I'm being a little more skeptical, not just standing there and then here's my face in case you forgot. Adventurer Abdullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. شوف لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
How we read this one? I don't know. That first door was freaking me out. I don't know why. Like the bang seemed like it wasn't like in sync with the actual motion of this enormous door, but it was loud. It was cacophonous, and it just kept happening. I feel like the guy yelling stressed me out more than anything. Just like how quickly he was speaking. I was about to sleep, then this.
Computer's off. That phone is off. ¿Y si oyeron lo que se oía?
Oh, you turn off the lights.
Like everything is off in here too. The kitchen. La idea está abierta porque la dejé abierta.
Nice couch Gatorade. He just hangs out there. Huh. I'm honestly more curious about the couch Gatorade. I want to know why a full bottle of yellow Gatorade is just sitting on the far right side of the couch as if it like lives there or something. That's just your roommate, right? Is it warm? Is it straight out of the fridge? What's going on with that? I need to know, okay? The TV or the radio turning on in the background doesn't concern me all that much. It's the couch Gatorade.
No! Damn it. I don't even know what happened. I just got really cocky there. I was like, yeah, and then, it just didn't go well. So, well done, Central Dark. It's, 3 me, 1 Central Dark. Oh, wow, okay. Didn't scream though, did I? Oh, it's gonna jump. It's fine. Get it together. You're good. Here we go. What the hell is that? Have you not seen it? Is that a person?
They जा रही थी.
Is that a woman? Don't jump out at me again. Don't. Mother. Does that count? Chris? Okay, it didn't scream. Compared to my first day on the job, I was like, ah! And like, Lizzie was like, you're gonna piss off the neighbors. Yeah, there's someone behind that screen, just so you know. Mon Dieu. Okay. So that one almost got me, because you know the jumps get me. No, it's already scary. Wow! Didn't scream. Didn't do it. But I did go, Does that count? I don't know. Anyways, that would piss me off though. I would just like, I can't say slap. Already did. I would slap that ghost. You know, I throw some powder on him and just go, because that's how that works.
Ghost light is on.
Ghost light is on.
No one in here. Hello. Okay.
Noise in the balcony. Oh, it's a theater. Cool.
Although it can only be seen for a couple of seconds. If you look at the top balcony, you can see what appears to be two ghosts standing there while Bailey films from a distance.
Oh, my stomach just went in my chest. Like, I was like, because I kind of saw it too. That's so creepy. And actually, there's a haunted theater in London, Ontario that has like a similar story. There's my friend used to work there and she said it was definitely haunted. So I don't know what it is about theaters, but when they're just dead silent, it's the creepiest place to be because they just carry something in there. Where are you on? Oh, it's a highway, okay.
Apparently they saw a police car in the distance that, after a few seconds, just vanished.
I didn't see anything. Go back. Play it again. That just looked like a light on the side of the road. I didn't see anything. Did you see anything? That's the scariest part about this video. Well, that's one sneaky police officer, if I'm being honest. They are sneaky though, because they always just hide in that little brush and expect you to just go, and they're like, ooh. And it's always that one time where you're just coming off the highway and you're just still at like 90 and it's like a 70 zone. And you're like, you're gonna book me for that? I have never been booked. That's because I barely have to drive because I live in Toronto. But come on.
Kiss? It's not a kiss. Come on, kiss.
She tried.
That was so not what I expected. That was such a strange experience because I was expecting it to be like Alfred Hitchcock Birds and then it was Annabelle very quickly, but you know what? Didn't scream. Did you?
Because I want to prove to you guys that it's actually real.
What you proved to me. Stay loose. It's good.
Turn the light on, Hetty. There's nothing.
There's a skull. There's a skull chilling. What was it?
There's nothing. What? I clearly saw a shadow. Yes.
Can you see the shadow standing right in front of their bed?
What? Oh. Dang, man. Every time I think I know who I am, this channel just gives me an existential crisis. Oh, what is real? What isn't? How much time do these people have to edit these videos? Are they real? Are they fake? Who knows? Okay. Okay, stay loose. Stay loose. I'm loose. I'm loose.
What is that, firewood?
Shots fired. Oh, I'm good. Hey, there we go. We're fine. Dark forest? No, wasn't what I expected. It's fine. If it was like a scream or something, I think it would have gotten me. But it was, and I don't know why why am I not afraid of? Because of all the movies I watch? Maybe because I lived in North York for a while. It was always like fireworks or.
The lights are upstairs, so we really can't keep messing with the lights right now.
Just dance.
Alright. I'm gonna head upstairs now, I guess. Oh. Upstairs. I'm gonna go first.
It's gonna be a jump scare. Tits.
Holy door just shut by itself. I hope I got that actually. Oh, I almost tripped.
Stay loose, stay loose.
Nice. Time. Got it.
Stay loose, stay loose.
Holy.
Stay loose.
Cody. Holy sh. Okay. Holy. At least it didn't slam that door.
I just get so anxious with the anticipation. Like, I thought that was gonna be a jump scare, but it wasn't. Thank God. Oh, good God. Okay, that's fine. But I love how it just got lower and lower. I goes like, bye. It's fine. Ooh, do a squat. Here we go. Ooh, don't be scared. Just work out. Don't be scared. Do a squat.
Yet another creature from the Pripyat River that looks like a fish, but has really big teeth and an uncommon skull shape. At first glance, it looks like a sci-fi monster. Scientists failed to classify the unknown specimen, so they supposed that the fish had mutated in such an ugly way after an exposure to a huge dose of radiation.
Who wants some sushi, am I right? Come on. I would not eat that, not for $1 million, but I would say I would to, you know, get some laughs from time to time. My word, that is a hideous creature. It's almost like they took like a saber-toothed tiger or like a wolf way back before we started domesticating dogs and just shoved its skull into a fish body and then left it there. That is hideous. That's totally gnarly. That is one of the freakiest things I've seen in a while.
The area of the power station has been circulating online since a while ago. We see an animal looking like a deer or a moose cross the road and hide in the bushes. The weirdest thing is, it's got no head. But maybe it's just an optical illusion.
It's either got a little eensy beensy head, or it's like maybe its head is like turned all the way to one side, so the camera's only catching that one facade, and that's it. I don't know. It seems to be running pretty confidently. It seems to be heading towards those woods with a mission in mind. It's not just a chicken running around with its head cut off. Not that it's a chicken, but you know, it's a turn of phrase. That's wild.
Sarcophagus, which was made from 14 million cubic feet of concrete and just over 8,000 tons of metal. Soviet workers known as liquidators assembled the original sarcophagus over the course of 206 days, in shifts lasting 5 to 7 minutes each, because any time longer than that spent near the reactors might just have killed them where they stood. But it's not like the shorter shifts were safe though. Thousands are suspected to have died during the work, with many others being resigned to long, painful, cancer-ridden deaths much later on. The original sarcophagus was built in a hurry and structurally unsound, but it was the only thing keeping incredibly lethal amounts of radiation from being released into the environment.
Holy smokes. That is some high-risk work right there. That's terrifying. And I guess like that's like kind of like you have to go in as the sacrifice. You kind of understand that your job is to protect everything outside of that gigantic concrete structure. And you may or may not, I mean, let's be real, that may not probably isn't even factored in there. Be putting your life on the line. My goodness. Liquidators, eh? Is that like because they get liquidated by the radiation?
It feels fitting that Pripyat is full of old broken dolls, so many that there almost seems to be some kind of weird spin-off of The Conjuring being shot there. Wherever you go in Pripyat, it seems like creepy dolls are there to stare at you. They sit on windowsills, they're propped up on skeletal bed frames, they're sprawled out in piles of debris. Some of them are even wearing gas masks to add that extra layer of uncanny horror. While it's certainly tempting to think that everything you see in Pripyat is still pretty much in the same spot where it was left on the day of the evacuation, the truth is that tourists looking for an awesomely creepy keepsake rearranged most of them for the sake of taking spooky photos.
Yeah, dolls, eh? Is that little girl on the balcony a doll? Is that just like a life-size doll? I want to know about that. I'd like to hear the explanation behind that one. Otherwise, like all these baby dolls, like do you think people brought their own baby dolls and put them down? Or do you think that there are that many baby dolls just scattered around after the meltdown? I guess like all the children in town probably had dolls. They're probably a big time, you know. It didn't happen in modern days where everybody had everyone in Russia had their own Transformer and their own He-Man and their own Thundercat.
Smaller villages just plain weren't interested in leaving, radiation or no radiation. Many of these older residents were set in their ways, having previously lived through the threats presented by and they weren't about to run away from a danger they couldn't even see.
So I should leave now, because of something I cannot see at all. No.
About 1,200 people, known as self-settlers, moved back into the exclusion zone in the months and years following the disaster. Some returned to their homes within a few years, while others only waited a few months. The government objected to the people's presence, but in the face of that kind of determination, what could they really do to stop them?
Yep, I mean, it happens. Folks are just gonna go back anyways. If they're gonna live their lives there, they're gonna live their lives there. It's the same no matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what kind of danger or disease or, you know, residual nuclear radiation. They're just gonna go and do what they want to do. You can't tell them to stop. Who are you to tell them to stop? They're just gonna do it anyway. Even if you make all the rules in the world and try to physically restrain them, they're gonna find a way to go and get it done either way. It's just the way people are.
Spray paint. On a number of occasions in the years since Chernobyl's meltdown, graffiti artists have snuck into the exclusion zone to make their marks, leaving eerily beautiful works of art on the abandoned buildings behind them. Some of the most striking graffiti work can be found in Pripyat, where artists painted creepy silhouettes of the town's missing residents. The effect is pretty striking. It's probably not an accident that the silhouettes are eerily similar to the permanent shadows that were left on the walls of Hiroshima after America attacked the city with a nuclear bomb during World War II.
That's wild. I mean, who is more dedicated to their craft than graffiti artists, right? Than freaking taggers and spray painters and whatever other words you want to use to describe people who use aerosolized paint to create works of art on walls. Who is more determined? These folks are going back into the exclusion zone to fire some beautiful and creepy art on the walls.
Building a fairground and carnival that was due to open a mere 2 days after the disaster happened. The creaking, rusted, radioactive Ferris wheel never took a single paying customer, yet still it stands, quietly, creaking in the wind. It's almost as if the amusement park was a part of some grand plan to create the most sinister-looking ruins anywhere in the world. What could better symbolize the tragedy of an abandoned town where thousands of children once lived and played than a disintegrating Ferris wheel, a set of bumper cars overgrown with vines, and the skeleton of a merry-go-round?
That's such a classic image, eh? Just the abandoned fairgrounds. I wonder like how influential that image was on many people like making horror movies in the years past that. Horror movies, horror games, anything. That kind of abandoned fairground vibe, especially with, you know, the invisible threat of radiation. That is something else entirely. That's above and beyond with creepiness. Like, just imagine standing in the middle of it at night and like you think it should be like dead silent, and then all of a sudden you hear like some calliope music. Ooh, boy.
This party leaders have been stored backstage in the community theater, along with old props and equipment. Seats are torn, and decades-old dust sits heavy on the stage. They look sternly resilient as the town crumbles all around them, and walls plastered with disintegrating murals designed to helpfully remind the long-since vanished population how awesome it is to live under Soviet rule. Like the Soviet Empire itself, everything in Pripyat has fallen apart, and what remains is just a ghostly shadow of something that lives only in the history books.
Classic. Very classic. I don't know if this is like, we're talking about the murals, we're talking about the propaganda itself. I mean, you're definitely gonna find all that there. I just wonder what, you know, the next big ruin will look like and what we'll find there, you know? I'm not gonna say it, you know, explicitly, but it seems like, you know, there are some places that are also on fast tracks to becoming abandoned and full of things that you can only find in history books. And it might not be nuclear, but it'll definitely be some other power source that overtaxes the environment.
Chernobyl, visiting an old school is a particularly haunting activity. While you won't stumble upon anything that will make headlines, like a rampaging mutant or a ghost, the overall sense of unease is utterly palpable. Nurseries are littered with dolls that were abandoned in the middle of being played with, left to lay there, limply, their dead eyes staring into the abyss. Toys are scattered all over the schools. Getting a sense of what the children were up to, just as they were gripped by fear and terror, is both haunting and heartbreaking.
Oh my, yeah, that would be awful to go and sift through all the educational materials, all the toys, all the little baby-sized gas masks. Oh boy, And we talked about dolls already a little earlier, but this just kind of brings it all together, right? The fact that these schools at one point were full of children learning, getting ready to go, and then they had to evacuate ASAP.
Were rescued, a lot of animals were left behind. Many died as a result of radiation, but many had a fate far worse than death. Many were mutated beyond all recognition. In particular, it was farm animals, who were left to find themselves exposed to extraordinary levels of radiation. According to ThoughtCo, there was a spike in malformed animals just after the disaster, and again in 1989 and 1990. That's the incredible, horrible name chosen for the uber creepy concrete tomb that crews built around the failed reactor in the mad hope that it would stop leaking radiation or producing deformed farm animals. Cattle, goats, horses and pigs all found themselves mutated.
Yeah, it's like it goes down like generations and generations. Like you're gonna be seeing stuff like that from the fallout for a very long time, and that's just like, it's tragic. It's sad. It seems like just a terrible waste, right? Like just all these things that people had set up for years, and they're ready to go, live their lives, work with their animals, and then all of it just kind of, just cooked, ruined, mutated. Goodness gracious.